What sword is everybody looking for?
I think it's a Soul Edge. Where can they find out more about this?
At RaisinAgamer.com.
We don't have a website. Okay, welcome to another all-new edition of Raising a Gamer. And cool night. What are we talking about today?
Soulblade.
Soulblade.
Used to be called the arcade Soul Edge.
Yeah, so we're playing a PlayStation 1 game, a fighting game. Like you said, on the arcade it came out in 1995 as Soul Edge. In 1996 it came to the PlayStation as Soulblade. Now this is a game that's similar to the Tekken games if you're familiar with them. If you're not familiar with Soulblade, I was never really big into the Tekken games. However, this game holds a special place in my heart because I played this as a teenager and just fell in love with this fighting style. What weapon do they all use?
A type of sword.
Yeah, so they all have swords.
Iron sword.
So it's like Tekken, but everyone has swords. So we'll just get this out of the gate from the get-go. This game is rated teen. It is a fighting game. There are swords. There's hacking and slashing. Not really any blood, but it's a
hacking.
Well, you're using swords and you're slashing at each other.
Oh, I thought you said hacking, so I can hack the game.
No, not that type of hacking.
Automatically.
More like you're using your sword and you're hitting each other with it. So there's definitely violence. I don't believe there's really any blood in the game.
No.
But each and every match or stage, whatever you want to call it, you're in a
block.
Yeah, in a square layout. Where within that square boundaries, within that field of play, whatever you want to call it.
Here, can I say something? This game is kind of. Do you know how the wrestling games? How they say if you get out of the court,
out of the ring,
10 seconds to 10, 9,
right,
8. Yeah, it's kind of like that, and it kind of has a theme because it's like knockout.
Well, it's not like that in the sense that if you get knocked out of the field of play, you lose a round. So it's best 2 out of 3. So you have to win 2 rounds to advance to beat your opponent. And there's also time. I think there's 60 seconds maybe. I'm not positive. I don't remember. I want to say there's a minute for each round. And there's a couple different strategies. You can just try and beat them until their health meter goes all the way down. You can try and knock them out. Or you can try and
whack them a few times and don't get your health lower than them and just dodge them.
Yeah, some of the later matches, they got really hard and we were really struggling. And if we got a lead on a guy, we would just try and avoid him until the time ran out. It didn't always work. There were times that they would hit us right at the end and they would do more damage overall.
It was one of the persons on the raft. Remember, right as you were about to win?
I think it was Cervantes, which is the last character. So, okay, so we'll say this. The story of Soulblade is that there's 9 characters who are all in search of this legendary sword called the Soul Edge. Okay, the Soul Edge is possessed by a pirate named Cervantes, and so everyone's trying to track him down to try and get the sword. Some people want to destroy it, and then others want to wield it. Right? So there's two different perspectives. Sure. Yeah, some people just want to get rid of it, and others want to wield it. Now, do you remember who we played with? The last time we played, do you remember who we played with? And I just bumped the camera, which I tell you not to do, so I'm sorry about that. Do you remember who we played? Do you remember his name?
No, not.
He was a German guy, Siegfried. Siegfried.
Okay.
Did you like playing as Siegfried?
Yeah.
Do you remember any of like the little catchphrases he would say? He had a couple that he kind of repeated.
Like this one was too easy.
Yeah, he said something like, "I've never had such an easy victory." So, with this being an older game, there's not a whole lot of dialogue. You hear kind of the same phrases over and over after each win. You just basically hear one little phrase after every win. That's pretty much all the dialogue that there is in the game. Like we said, there's 9 people going after the Soul Edge. So you go and you beat one, you move on to the next. Similar to like a Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, if you're familiar with that system of how it's, you know, next man up, and keep climbing the ladder till you get to the final boss. And in this case, you get to Siegfried, or sorry, not Siegfried, you get to Cervantes, and then once you defeat him, he transforms into, do you remember? Like a skeleton character.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty much it strips away him just down to the bones. It's like his soul is gone, and then you just fight just the bone, the skeleton of him. And if you beat him, what do you win?
The Soulblade.
Yeah, Soul Edge, Soulblade, whatever you want to call it.
I can't say it.
Now, this game to me was so much fun because as a kid, I remember playing it. I can't remember which character I played as, but basically the ending was he was like this hero, and then when he won, he turned on like all of his country and became the bad guy, and it was just so shocking. But there's different endings for each character. Some of them have multiple endings, so it definitely keeps that replay.
So like,
keeps it at a high level. Makes you want to come back.
Do you get to choose if you want the sword or not?
You don't get to choose, no. But
It's
so
just its game itself.
yeah, it just depends on the ending you get. Okay, but let's get back on track. What did you think overall of the look of the game?
Very blocky kind of movie texture, because if you see in the background, it kind of moves. And
Yeah, so this is a PlayStation 1 game, so the graphics aren't very good. Lots of sharp, edgy-looking polygons. You know,
And
the arms and the elbows don't look quite right, but yet the gameplay is still pretty fluid. And what I mean by that is it still plays well. Once, what do you want to show them? Or just the picture?
Yeah, we haven't showed them yet.
Yeah, we held it up.
Oh, did we?
But it's still, once you get playing, you kind of forget about the look of it, don't you? Because we were having a blast. I want to say
The grades.
more so. Well, we'll get to that in a second. But more so than a lot of games we've played, we were laughing. When we would die so close, there was a lot of like, oh no! You know, we were getting really animated, really excited, more than we have in a game in a little while. There was a lot of hooting and hollering and screaming that went into this game. Like, we had a lot of fun. Okay, so Cool Knight, tell me, what is your overall grade on Soulblade?
I'm gonna give it a B. I would probably give it an A, but the reasons are blocky texture. I didn't see the ending.
Yeah, okay.
And hey, my last reason.
You saw it on YouTube.
I know, but
So we got to explain that. So we've played this game through a couple times. First couple times we didn't get to the end, but then yesterday we played it all the way through with Siegfried. We got to the last boss. You stepped out of the room, I think, to get ready for bed, and I thought it would take us a number of times to get back, because we were taking turns. We were passing the controller back and forth. I thought it was going to take us a number of times to beat him, and I beat him on the first try. And I tried to get your attention right as I tried to yell downstairs, "Cool Knight, come upstairs!" But you didn't hear me, and so you missed the whole ending, and then I had to just show it to you on YouTube, and I felt so guilty because I thought there was no way I was going to beat him in the first try. Okay, so sorry, you're giving it a B.
You jinxed yourself. And then
I thought you'd give it a higher rating than that, honestly.
I would probably. I'm gonna give it a B plus. Anyways.
So if I keep saying I think you'd give it a higher rating than that, would you raise it up to A minus?
No.
Okay. B plus. Why B plus?
B. Blocky textures. I didn't really like that they didn't say as much phrases. I would like if they said phrases while they're fighting, like saying you are almost dead or something like that.
Now, it did have an announcer that would give some narration in between matches, which I enjoyed. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of talking. But that's also more just a common theme with some of these older games is that
they don't have as much talking.
Yeah, it was just, you know, we live in a day and age where there's a lot of really deep story-based games where you can have great dialogue, and just the the technology wasn't quite there yet. For me, I am giving this game an A. I am really glad I picked this one up. This is one that I got off eBay. I want to say it was like around $10 to $12. I've been looking for it in yard sales, haven't been able to find it. But this is a game, even though I haven't played a ton of the newer Soul Calibur games, which...
Easter egg.
Yep, we got it right there. Easter egg, yep. Haven't played a ton of them, so... which is kind of funny because I love Soulblade, but regardless, this is just a ton of fun, and it makes me want to go and play more of these to kind of dive more into them. But yeah, for me, this game is an A. Great memories of it. I remember there was a code where you had to leave your PlayStation on for 24 hours to unlock the skeleton version of Cervantes as a character. I'm pretty sure that's who it unlocked.
Wait, you can...
You had to, and I don't know if we played it on a PlayStation 2. I don't know if it would work on a PlayStation 2. I would assume it would, but you had to leave your system on for 24 straight hours. So I remember leaving it on and telling my brother and telling my sisters, "No one turn off the PlayStation. Don't touch it. Let it run. I'm trying to unlock a special character." And yeah, you just had to let it sit for...
You farted in me too.
No, I didn't. Way to try and blame someone else. Jeez.
You did too. You did too.
Okay.
You did too. Okay. That was your alarm.
Okay. So, with that nice send-off, cool night, this has been another edition of Raising a Gamer. If you like it, please give us a
poop down.
Please give us a thumbs up. Please like it with your friends.
Don't like
Please
it.
subscribe and be lucky that you cannot smell things through YouTube. And until next time,
Unless they upgrade it.
take care.
Transcending history and the world, a tale of soul and swords, eternally retold.